All right, here we go. We are live. We are live. We are live. So I'm live on TikTok. I am live on the book and the tube. So what's going on, y'all? Happy Sunday. Happy Sacred Sunday. It's me, Reiki Master Allison. So I'm just checking to make sure everybody is doing what they're supposed to do on these here cameras because I got my phone and I got the webcam. So, hello, Goddess Bliss. What's going on, girl? All right, y'all. So, and yes, I have coffee. So, whew, on top of my Leo energy, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. Let me take a sip. Oh boy. But yeah, and I'm actually on an energetic high that coffee could never match. Okay. Because at the end of this week, my book, Starting Over at 40, My Sacred Journey of Self Discovery, Empowerment, and Self Love, launches on Kindle Friday. Yay! Woo! And I'm so excited. So freaking excited. So this will be my last pre-order live, and the rest of the month, basically, just like that sound says, prepare to be sick of me because I'm going live. Because I gotta promote my book. Like, what would be the point of me doing this and putting this out into the world if I don't tell you that it's there? Like, come on now. All right. So thank you, Goddess Bliss. Thank you so much. So yeah, we're gonna do that. So today's topic, in case you did not see, is basically the importance of sharing your starting over story. Yeah. The importance of telling your story, period, is important. Okay. So if any of you have been part of any of my Reikipreneur training, you know I talk about sharing your story and how it is important to share your story. So today I have six, yes, six, six reasons, six points to hit for why it's important. So I just want to say, for those that don't know, the reason why this book is called Starting Over at 40 is because that was the name of my very first podcast. The podcast I have now is the Sacred Pathway Academy podcast, which I haven't recorded new episodes for in a very long time. And I'm thinking about in 2025 picking it back up because I do miss it. But we'll just see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, so the book is called Starting Over at 40, My Sacred Journey of Self-Discovery, Empowerment, and Self-Love. It's called that because my original podcast, which was the Starting Over at 40 podcast, which no, you can't find it anymore. It's not on any platform anymore. I retired it. Um, but this is how I am showing and repurposing the podcast because I want you to be able to see some of the teachings that came forth because it's not just teachings from me. I interviewed some very dynamic, beautiful, powerful women on this podcast. So I'm sharing a few of them. It's a little over a few because a few was actually three. I'm sharing some of them with you in the book. And from there, I talk about some of the lessons that I learned as it's related to the topics of those interviews. So that's why this book is so important and near and dear to my heart because it's an homage to that podcast that I had, because that's the one that started it all. That's the podcast that put me out there, that I was just like, okay, I'm pulling this ripcord. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to do this. So that's the one that started it all. And so that is why it's so important to me that you not only pre-order the book, but when you get it, you read it and it touches your heart and inspires you in the way that my sacred intention for that book is. All right. So before we jump into the message, we're going to pull a couple of cards. So we're going to pull from the cards where I was starting over. These were some of my first decks. So we're pulling from the One Manifesting Fertility Goddess deck. And we're going to pull from the Sacred Journey Oracle deck by Vicky Ayala. So, Goddess Bliss, can you give me a number between 1 and 11? And let's see who is on here on TikTok that can give me another number. Somebody just put a number in the comments between 1 and 11, whoever's watching this. And that's how we're going to play this. All right, Goddess Bliss said 9. Okay, so we're going to pull from this one first, and we're going to do 9. 9 is our number. So everybody point your intentions toward the cards. And we going to pull. So I guess nobody on TikTok can think of a number. That's fine. Because somebody's on here watching, but they don't have a number. So we'll just do 9 for both. That's fine. I'm just giving it a shuffle because I've been using them. All right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's split the deck. Oh, Goddess Ayla. Goddess Ayla. Okay. So, Goddess Ayla, she says she's all about the body wisdom. So, the body wisdom, this is what the affirmation says on the card. It says, my body knows what to do. Every chakra, every cell is wise beyond measure. My body knows what to do. Every chakra, every cell is wise beyond measure. That is our affirmation. So now let's see what the Sacred Journey Oracle deck has to say. Da, 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 da. All right. So let me give this a quick little shuffle before I do this because I pulled them last week, but I like to give a good little shuffle. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, selfie. Everybody take a selfie. Not right now, but selfie. And it says, how you show up tells the world all they need to know about you. How you show up tells the world all you need to know. They need to know about you. Hello, Goddess Mignon on the Tiki Talk. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey. So yeah. So what's interesting about pulling this with this, and by the way, y'all share this with your people so they can put some positivity on their timeline and they can come and join the fun. But what's interesting about pulling both of these together, with the body wisdom and how our bodies know what to do and that every cell has wisdom, and then the fact that how we show up tells the world all they need to know about us. This is playing into our self-confidence, which a lot of us battle with, the showing up. As I fuss at so many of my clients that are like, I want my business to be out there and da 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 da. Well, you're gonna have to put yourself out there, boo. You're gonna have to put yourself out there. There's no getting around it. There's no easy way to put that. There's no like, it's inevitable. You have to do it. I'm gonna move this my phone just a little bit here. Hold on, y'all. But you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to do it. Is it rough? Yes. Is it, can it be challenging? Yes. But I don't like that. But it's worth it. If you're saying that this is what you want to do, if you're saying that, I want to build my platform, I want to build my business, you're going to have to put yourself out there. But the good thing is, every part of you knows what to do. Every part of you, with all the wisdom that you have incurred over the years, through the experiences that you've had, the knowledge that you've built up, and all of those things. You know how they say everything works together for our good? Well, yeah. Because who else can tell your story but you? No one can tell your story better than you. No one can. I don't care if anybody writes a biography about you or what have you. Nobody can tell that story better than you can. Nobody can give your testimony better than you can. So please remember that your body knows what to do. Your body, your energy has stored up all of this wisdom and knowledge and all the things that you will ever need. Thank you for the hearts. So put yourself out there. If you haven't done it this year, the year is not up yet. Get yourself out there. Put yourself out there. If you're worried about how you look, I'm going to tell you what the beautiful Rosetta Thurman from the Happy Black Woman said in one of the master classes of hers that I joined a couple of years ago. You look how you look. You look how you look. Because you are you. Like, you look how you look. And though you might be picking your looks apart, the people who are watching you, if you're talking about something that aligns with them, they don't give a rat's hairy derriere what you look like. They just want you to help them with what they have going on. That's it. That's it. So enough of that. Let's jump into our topic, shall we? And we're going to talk about the importance of sharing our starting over story. So I have notes in front of me, but starting over at 40 can be significant for a lot of us and very transformative. Starting over at any age can be that. Yes, yes. The reason why it was 40 for me, because I was 40. Now I'm almost 50. But I was 40 when I started my journey. I was actually a little before 40. But I called it starting over at 40 because that's where I was in my journey. But you could be 40, 45, 50, 60. Does not matter. But it's significant in us sharing our stories, and it can be empowering and inspiring. And so I want to talk about some of the reasons why I felt it not robbery to talk about these things, especially when I was first starting out. So, number one thing, I wanted to break some age myths and stereotypes. So in society, we often get stereotyped when we reach a certain age that we're supposed to have reached certain things by certain ages. Well, if you remember, I forgot which one of my lives I was doing, I talked about people who got a late start in life. And those are people like Vera Wang, Viola Davis. I mean, who's better than Viola Davis? Okay. Who is more powerful in the presence than freaking Viola Davis? Okay. So you have a lot of people who started later in life. And so I wanted to make sure that I am still telling this story about starting over at 40 because I wanted, yep, Goddess Mignon says, yep, that I want to show that just because you're at a certain age doesn't mean the possibilities of new beginnings and growth are not possible for you. They're very possible for you. And so when I put this book together and put my story together, because you're walking through my starting over at 40 journey, which, like I said, there's going to be a part 2 that's going to be jumping into my spiritual awakening and liberation. So be looking out for that. That's coming next year. But anyway, for this book, it's more about me and self-discovery, empowerment, self-love, and building that foundation for myself and how you can build it for yourself. So breaking those age stereotypes was really, really important to me. Number 2, providing hope and inspiration. I want to inspire other people, and since I work mainly with women, other women, to inspire them that your story can be a source of hope for someone else. And when I took that on myself, that my story can be a source of hope for someone else who's also been in terrible relationships with men, who have lived most of their life not loving themselves, not knowing how to love themselves, spending a lot of time trying to reach other people's expectations of you, and now you're finally at a point where it's like, okay, am I living for me or am I living for these people? You know, um, so being able to provide that hope and inspiration is something that was very important to me, because some of us are feel very trapped and dissatisfied with our current paths in life, with how life is going for us. So through this, I hope I am providing hope and inspiration to show that if I can do this, you can do this. And your story is different from my story, but what we have in common is the fact that we want to start anew. We want change. We want to create a new life for ourselves. So that takes me into number 3. It was important for me to showcase resilience and determination. The resilience and determination that I had for wanting to be able to show hope and inspiration to other people. So when you talk about showcasing resilience, it takes a great deal of courage to start over. Because if you're starting over, no matter what the age, whether it's at 40, whether it's at 35, whether it's at 50, wherever you are in the spectrum, it doesn't matter. It takes a lot of courage to start over. It takes a lot of courage to be able to say, you know what, I'm not happy with the way my life is going right now, or I feel like I'm at a standstill. I'm at a fork in the road. I can't decide, what it is that I want to do with my life, how I want to live my life. So that is why it was important for me to show resilience and determination, not just in this book, but how I show up in the world, how I show you all, how I show up in the world. One of the things that one of my dear friends, Rosalind McFadden Green, she used to always tell me, she was like, you know what? You always show up. And I admire that, of how you show up. Because for me, if I'm going to be teaching this, I got to show you how it's done. If I'm going to be teaching other women how to do what I do, I got to show you how it's done. And since nobody is talking to me in the comments, I'm kind of like, can y'all say something? So I don't feel like I'm speaking into the void. Thank you for the hearts, Goddess Mignon, over in TikTok land. But yes, being able to show and highlight my life and the things that I've been doing and how I've been trying to and striving to make changes in my life is why this book was so freaking important to me. And I want you to know that it takes so much courage to reinvent yourself, to make change, to be able to say, you know what, this ain't working. I need to find what works. And also understanding the determination and the resilient part means that there's going to be some failures in there. Oh, yeah. There's going to be some big fat failures in there. You're going to fall flat on your face more times than you probably would like to. Because Lord knows I did. Because, I don't know, I'm kind of dating myself, but did anybody ever watch The Price is Right growing up? And whenever somebody like went over or did something, it would go boop, 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 boom, bang, kind of like that. Yeah, that's how I felt when things wouldn't always go the way I needed it to go. But it built up an armor. It built up wisdom within myself. Body wisdom. Every cell knows what to do. All of those things worked for my good that got me right here. So, Goddess B.A. Blue says, very true. Yes, ma'am. Very true. So, just understanding the resilience and determination is part of it. Number 4, highlighting personal growth. So, me being able to discuss and show my self-discovery, my personal growth that came in my starting over journey, and how the experiences that I've had have shaped who I am. Again, every chakra, every cell knows what to do, because whether we understand this or not, physically, metaphysically, with every experience that we have, every encounter we have with other people, the things that we learn along the way, we are storing this information in our bodies, in our spirits, in our cells. It comes out when you allow yourself to say, hey, within these experiences, this is what I have gained. Let me look back on here. Goddess Mignon said, yes, it takes courage to start over and also to understand that you will fail forward. Girl, yes. Yes, you will. But it's okay. It's okay. Everybody take a deep breath right there. That it's okay to fail forward. Put that in the comments and take a deep breath when you do it. It is okay to fail forward. It is okay. It's part of the process. Believe me when I say it is part of the process. And it's okay. Just keep showing up. Show the world who you are. Show up in all your greatness, all your goddess energy, all that beauty, all that significance within you. It's okay. It's more than okay, because that's who is showing the world who you are. I don't know about you, but I can't hire anybody that's trying to teach me to do something if they ain't got no proof that they've been through it. That's why for me, I don't like personal trainers who've never been fat. I'm sorry. If you've never had a problem with weight problems, I can't, you and I can't relate. You may be very good at what you're doing, but if you have never had problems with your weight, if you have never had a bad relationship with food, I can't work with you, because you don't understand what I've been through and what I deal with day in and day out. I need someone with social proof. I need someone to show me that they've been through the fire in gasoline G-string to show me that they made it to the other side. I don't want someone who's been perfect all their life, who's never had struggle, who's never dealt with anything. I need proof that you feel me, or else I'm going and working with somebody else. So that is why we go through the things that we go through, and how it shapes us in a way that no one could ever take it away. The experiences that you've had, the things that you've lived, the things you've overcome, nobody can ever take that away from you. Pat yourself on the back. You made it through some stuff. You made it through some stuff. Nobody can ever take that away from you. That's why your story is important. That's why you sharing your story is so important and vital. Because if I'm going through something and then I see that you are going through or have been through something similar that I've been through, I don't feel so alone. So then I'm like, oh, okay. So if she can do it, if she made it, I'm gonna make it too. I'm gonna make it too. And it's gonna be all right. Excuse me, number 5. My story, my um, mission since I've started has been encouraging a sense of community. I cannot stress to you how friggin' important your journey is having community be part of it, because it builds camaraderie. You have other people sharing their experiences, giving you advice, giving you encouragement, and then it makes the whole thing feel less daunting. It feels less heavy because it's like, okay, I got other people rocking with me who are doing the same thing. I talk about how when I joined Abiola Abrams' coaching program in the book, and how that was very significant for me. The most significant part of that was the community. The community, being able to speak to other women who are also doing what they're doing in life, and feeling their way through the processes of becoming these spiritpreneurs and having their businesses and their spiritual journey, etc. That's how I met someone beautiful like the Reverend Mignon Grayson. And if you're not following her, you need to be following her, because she has wrote 4 4 books, 4 of them that you can find on Amazon. She talks about manifestation, but going through that program, that's how I met Mignon. Some of the close friends that I have now is because I chose to be part of community. That is why when you come to the Sacred Pathway Academy, I push community like a mofo, because you can't do this by yourself. You can't. I won't say can't. I like to let me remove that part. And I don't want to say shouldn't, because I don't want to should on you. It is very hard to do this by yourself. How about that? It is very hard to do this by yourself. Community. Goddess Mignon said community support is so important. Yes, it is. Having those like-minded individuals. Now, does that mean that everybody that surrounds you or whatever, that everybody has the best intentions and we're all kumbaya and we'll hold hands and slide down the big hill together? No. You'll be able to use discernment, hopefully, to find your peeps. So number 6, this is my last one. Inspiring change and innovation. That was so important to me, and has been and will continue to be, when I share my story and talk about what I do. Inspiring others to embrace change and innovation. Innovation meaning new ideas for yourself, pursuing new dreams and passions, or resurrecting old dreams and old passions and putting a remix to it. I've talked about this before, but I'll talk about it again. I used to write a lot as a child and a teenager. I did. I wrote poetry. I wrote short stories. I would just pick up a pen and start writing. I wrote songs. I wrote things. And then I stopped writing for years and years and years. Then I started back writing again. And then when I got on this starting over journey, I began a blog. And you'll see some of those things in the book too. But I started my blog, and writing was so cathartic for me. So resurrecting old dreams and also applying new dreams, new passions, new ways of being and thinking. Because again, starting over, it just because the book, I call it starting over at 40, it's really starting over, period. You know, at whatever age you are. Excuse me. So, in conclusion, your starting over story, my starting over story, is important because I challenge those social norms of age. I wanted to provide hope and inspiration. I wanted to showcase my resilience and determination. I wanted to share with you my personal growth, the journey of my personal growth. I wanted to build community and be part of community. And I wanted to inspire change in your life. That is why this book, this whole friggin' journey of me has been so important. And I did not realize this until I got to this point, why so much of what I went through. So before I close this out, let me just say, on the original podcast, Starting Over at 40 podcast, that's no longer in circulation. You can't hear it nowhere, so don't go looking for it. It's not there. But on that original podcast, the one thing I will always ask my guests is tell us your starting over story. The reason why I wanted them to tell their starting over story is because I needed all of those things that I just listed. I needed their story to be told to the audience so that the audience could also get those things from them. Because their stories inspired me, for sure. They did. They inspired me. They encouraged me. We built community because of those things. I was able to see their resilience and determination. They showed me how they broke stereotypes and how they broke through barriers to start over. And that's what this is about. So I encourage you to tell your story. I encourage you to share your story with other people because you just never know who needs to hear your story, who needs to know that they can make it too. So, with that said, if you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, you can go into the description and you can click on the link to pre-order your copy of my book. Goddess Bliss on YouTube says, yes, I agree with all. Ashe. I'm doing some work at the same time, so I'm listening. That's okay, Goddess. And then she says, yes, I totally agree. And I'm here just doing some work, listening. But at this point in my life, right here in real time, yes, this starting over at 40 is something different and interesting. It is. And for me, I've really enjoyed my 40s. Thank you, Goddess. Yes, I saw that you did your pre-order. Thank you. My 40s have been amazing. I never knew that I would enjoy my 40s so much. And I'm looking forward to 50 because I feel like 50 is going to be really something because I've heard your 50s can be like, all right now. So I'm looking forward to that. But I have really loved my 40s coming into myself. You know what I'm saying? My 40s really were like, this is where the rubber hits the road, if you will, in your 40s. And then the further you get in your 40s, you start hitting a stride because at first it's kind of like, okay, this is different. And then you start hitting a stride. And then you start picking up momentum. And it just goes from there. So thank you all for joining me. I love you, love you, love you with my whole heart. Go and pre-order that book. And once you've read it, leave your girl a review. But if you got something nasty to say, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. So, yes, the 40s are the precursor to 50s. Yes. Oh, just turned 41. God is blessed. Yay. Yes, it's been life learning. And you feel this is where knowledge is takeoff and action and death for rebirth. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful rest of your day, a great week. Remember, the book actually launches on Friday. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, y'all. Peace.